this computer. So it says design and build. I misspelled build there, staircase here, right? So the idea is to connect the lower level with the upper level. You guys remember when we were discussing staircase last week, we said the average step has parameters. You can't make random sizes because you're designing for this woman, right? If you make each step 2 foot high, there's no way she could climb it. If your grandmother went to the store, she has to be able to go up and down. So think for accessibility and think for designing for the human body. So what we need to do here, first step, we all have this file and it's open and ready?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want to be ahead of you guys. I want to make sure we're all at the same time. So remember, we are very good at using components. We are very comfortable with components, right? So let's do this. We're going to do a test. I'm going to draw a rectangle that's 3 feet, 11 inches. And I drew it. So this item is a group. This item is a group. Each item is a group there, right? And this item is just floating there. 3 feet by 11. And put the dimensions so you guys can see them. At this point, should be a piece of cake for you to do. Ethan, you have this?
Yeah.
So height-wise, I'm going to make my step, let's say, 8 inches high. Yes?
Yeah.
Dominic, you with me? The other Dominic. That one just showed up.
Yes.
Do you have SketchUp open and you downloaded this file?
Well, I was opening it right now. I'm still setting up, but I'm following along.
Excellent. So I'm going to highlight these guys and make this a component and call it step test. So I would see if this works or not. It's just a test. Make sure you click replace selection with component. Yeah. Create. So now I need to make stairs from here to there, right? So I have one step and I made my step into a component. I need to know the height of this building. So it tells me that this column is 9 feet, but that does not get to the top of the steps. So I'm going to measure from the top of the platform to the bottom of the platform, and it's 10 feet. So unfortunately, my height is in inches, and this height is in feet. What can we do to know? How are we going to calculate how many steps we have? Anybody has any suggestions?
Convert the 10 feet into inches.
Let's do that. So we're going to have a calculator there.
120.
120 times 12, 120. And how much the height of each step is 8 divided by 8 equals 15 steps. Wow, this was easy. So I'm going to take, remember when we did before, we did copy multiple copies. We're going to do multiple copies again. So I select the item, control move. I will do 14x because I did the math and I have 14 steps, right? Now I will highlight all of the 14 steps and make them into a group. Why? Because it's easier to move them as one entity than move each at a time. I think I'm going too fast. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Very good.
So the two only people who respond are the only ones who are doing well, and the rest are my silent majority. You guys, if you don't speak up and you don't have a voice, people ignore you and you don't count. You have to say what's going on with you. Yes, no, maybe it's not working. Thanks, Nick. No, Nick, you're not part of the silent majority. And Victor, you're good too. Thank you. What about the other 6? Are you guys with me or no?
Yeah.
I can also, I mean, like, maybe what I did was too fast. Did you guys see it? Did you catch it? Excellent. Thanks, Francisco. So by making a group of the stairs, I can now move them on location. And now I have 15 steps and it fits mathematically perfectly, right? There is no, because in staircase design, you cannot have a step and a half. Have you ever climbed a staircase where there's a step and a half? What will happen if there's a step and a half?
You'll trip.
Yeah.
So it's not an option. So you always have to do the math by dividing the total height by the height of each step. And sometimes you adjust the steps themselves. Like, let's say I want it to be, like, I cannot do 7.5. The math would not work. Watch me do 7.5. I'm gonna open this. So it was 8. I'm gonna try 7.5. Let's see what happens. Let's try 15 again, right? Whoa, it worked again. You guys, you know how fortunate that is, that 1/2 inch times, oh, let's see what's the height of the last step. We're very fortunate. This is not usually like that. The word is not this simple. Okay, see what's happening by mistake. Do it one more time. So 7.5 works as well. 14x. 7.5 is a much more comfortable step situation. 8 is quite high. But from experience, 7.5 is just fine. See how there is no fractions of steps. Now I want to show you this trick. If I'm working with 2 situations, and one situation I want to lock, I don't want to change the parameters. I'm going to erase my name from there. I'm going to erase the notes because I want to make this as a clean presentation. So these numbers were good for me, but you don't need them anymore. So let me see if we can clean up all these numbers and just make it. So it would make sense. Have we ever used lock command? If I select this platform and all these columns and highlight everything, if I right click, I'll write it back as well. If you right click, you can lock. So when I lock something, it turns red. Watch what happens when it turns red. If I try to, by mistake, if I'm trying to erase this step, I will erase this step, but this would not erase. So locking an item is a very useful thing if you want to protect the item. Since we're not playing with the actual structure, we're only worrying about the staircase, I want to lock the rest. Rocco, is that working for you? Locking?
Yes.
Useful trick, right?
Very
Yeah.
helpful.
Very helpful.
So, okay, thank you. So now I realize the staircases have too much information. It's too messy with the text. I can open the first component, delete the numbers I don't want. So this staircase is good, But in reality, if you watch most homes, usually don't go more than 8 steps without having a landing. What would you think would need to have landings? Do we know what's a landing on the staircase? Let me show you. Stair landings. Unfortunately, in the world of buildings, everything has its own word. And so usually on a staircase, there's a landing, which is like a place where you can take a rest. Imagine if you're an elderly person, climbing 30 steps in a row is too exhausting, but having a place to take a break and catch your breath is always a good thing. And see, the staircase has 2 landings. There's no exact way of doing it. So I'm going to break my staircase and create a landing. So I'm going to open the upper 8 steps and rotate them. Remember the rotate we used to use when we did the kindergarten project? So I can make my staircase like this, but now this is dangerous because people will fall and trip through this gap. What should I do?
Fill it.
We can fill it. So I'm going to draw a rectangle from there to there and push pull. Now the minute I finish my object, I make this into a group. This was not, you remember it was floating? I'm not going to leave it floating. I'll make it in a group right away. So now I have a staircase. This works better, right? With a landing. I need to move it and attach it maybe to this location. Oh, wow. We have a floating step. So I need to add a step to the bottom. So I'm examining the situation from as many angles as I can. So this is how easy it is to build stairs. Are you guys jotting these numbers? What's the height of these steps?
It was 7.5.
Oh, someone is paying attention. And what about the depth of the step? Because every year someone presents me the project and the steps are 6 inches deep. Like the average person's foot is 11 to 8. If you make it only 6 inches, it's not comfortable. And you want to make it wide enough that a person or 2 can walk side by side. So let's say I look at the staircase and I said for a store, 3 feet is too narrow. If 2 people are going up and down, it would be nice if it was wider. Now, because I'm using components, I can open the top one, pull it, let's say, an extra 2 feet. So it automatically fixes itself because I'm using components. All I have to do is bring these guys two feet in that direction. Now I have to fix this because it changed. This was a unique item, right? It was not a component. Well, I'm realizing it's still in the back, right? I need to move all of these. So I could choose to make a group out of this segment separate from that segment. Well, I think the landing, would this landing make sense like this?
No.
Yeah,
No.
it makes sense. We could stretch this to the back. So, I mean, you have to be alert. If something doesn't make sense, you're driving this process. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You have to choose the right answer for this challenge. So far, this is easy. Do we like this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Second thing would be to make railings. And you remember we made railings when we did our, so I want to make modern railings on the stair. So I want to make maybe glass pieces that attach to the side and go up, let's say 40 inches. Remember, this piece is not part of the component yet, right? So I will highlight this make it a component, call it glass railing. I don't want it to be red, I want it to be yellow. I'm going to open and I will go to glass. But see how come it's not repeating in every component? How can I make it repeat? What should I do?
Copy it and place in place.
I'm going to go edit cut. I'm going to open. See, I make sure I'm inside the components here, selected, edit, paste in place. And each step now has the same exact component. I could copy this one to the opposite side now. So I'm being smart. I'm not wasting all night doing what the computer can do in one click. And now I have a stair with railings. Of course, if I want to do it right, I probably should do handrails, and I have to address this situation, right? This could be dangerous. So I need to go insert components. Maybe there, and we can, remember divide? I can do this. Divide by 6. No, we divide by 4. By the way, in staircase design, the minimum gap between the rails is 4 inches, because you don't want a child to fall through the, put their head there and fall. So by law, you're expected to have, there's parameters, like the height of this railing should be at least 36 inches, because if someone standing there is only 18 inches, they could fall and break their head. So this should be 36 inches, and the gap between these two guys should be 4 inches. So I'm going to copy these guys. And rotate them. The same tricks all over again, 90 degrees. And I click the corner and I snap it. So this is how we're building our items. We're using components, groups, we're being smart. All the tricks we've used up to this point should serve us. So this took less than 20 minutes, you guys, you see that? If I'm a good designer, also, I don't want people upstairs to fall, so I might copy these. All around the balcony, so this level will be safe as well. So when you are a good designer, you just do the right thing without even anyone ask you. Obviously, it makes sense to have railings all around to protect people who are hanging up upstairs. And I would do probably the fronts and we'll be good. So this is one way of doing a staircase. This is the easy thing. Now, the more interesting one is, how do we do a spiral staircase? What do we know about spiral staircases? Let's go look. I don't know anything. I always Google it. Spiral stairs. So I'm finding images of spiral stairs. So they seem to have a pipe in the center, right? And they have steps that are welded to the pipes. And these steps form a circle. If you look at it from above, it looks like, let me find images. So we always Google and research how our things are made before we go and build them. So I need to know what's the challenge here. I can't make up just an answer like that. So let me see. See, in plan, I found a plan because I am not just. So each spiral staircase has a landing and have an exit, and then so you go up and you spin around. And so there's some useful information about stairs here that I can use. So you can't make, so they look like pizza slices, right? You can't make the pizza slices too thin, or otherwise it'll be problematic, and you have to worry about the height. But it's based on a circle, so you basically have to draw a pie, like a pizza pie on the floor, and dissect it into segments. Look at this. Look at this. Imagine this being a clock, right? So this is 12 o'clock. This is 3 o'clock. This is 6 o'clock. Now, I don't have measurements, but I'm going to use common sense. PJ, you with me here? So between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock, we have 3 steps. So obviously, we're dividing 90 degrees into 3 equal segments. So 90 divided by 3 is how much? 30. So obviously each wedge is 30 degrees. So I figured out this is my approach. And for me to make a staircase that's self-respecting, let's say between the center dot here, Rocco, how wide this should be for this, like for people to enter the staircase from this point to that point?
I mean, 3.5 feet.
3.5 feet. I like 3.5 feet. Good. Go for it. So let's go look at this from above. You remember when we drew circles, we have an option to make our circles smooth. So I'm going to go to circle. How do you make things smooth? See, I say it's 24 sides. I want to make it 60 sides. Click, and I'm 3.5, 36 plus 6 is 42 inches. So that's my first circle, right? I drew a circle. If I go measure it,
What was the dimensions?
it's 42 inches. From there to there, I'm going to put the dimension. 3'6". We all have to do this. We won't be able to do a spiral staircase till you do this, you guys. So before I do anything, I'm going to draw a straight line from the center of the circle so I have one line. Now I have 2 options. I could use the protractor tool. Click this line, that line, I'm going to type 30. So I have my first wedge of the pie. I'm going to paint a different color so you guys can see it. No, I'm having a hard time with orientation today. So I made my first wedge of the pizza pie. Francisco, you with me on this? Is it okay? Is it working out for you?
Wait, did you copy and rotate or just rotate?
First, I used the protractor. I clicked,
Okay.
and I typed 30. Then I traced it with a line, so I would mathematically have a good shape. So this red shape, I'm going to put an angle for you guys. Let me see if I can do it. I thought, does SketchUp measure angles? Radiuses. Does SketchUp measure angles? Anybody remembers? I'm gonna have to Google it. For someone who's been using software for all these years, Dimensioning angles, not measuring. I misspelled it. It does exist. They claim it exists. Anybody has done it?
Oh,
I've never done it. Tools, dimensional, angular. Let's see if we can have it. Tools, dimensions. I don't have it. I can't afford to spend too much time on it right now, but we all have 36, right? We have 3'6", and this is 30 degrees. We're okay with that? Okay. Now the next step, we will copy this wedge to the outside with control move. And what height would we like for the steps? We like the previous height earlier on. I think 7.5 was good. I'm gonna lift this to be 7.5. Let me measure. I didn't trust that number. See, I thought I typed 7.5, I did 5. So I'm gonna do 2.5. So we have a piece of cheese, red cheese, that's 7.5. Ethan, you with me?
Yeah, how high did he make it?
7.5.
Okay.
Okay, now we will make this into a component because we always do, right? We make things into components when we repeat them. We can call it spiral step. I call things names I can remember that make sense for me. Now this is where I'm gonna get really interesting. Usually my students are like really impressed by this thing we're about to do. So I copied the step.
Did you make a component already?
Yes.
Okay. What did you call it, by the way?
Spiral steps.
Okay.
So the next step, Rocco, you with me on this?
yes.
Francisco, are you there?
Yeah.
Watch this. You select the step. You will do, remember our friend rotate? I'll put the rotate in the blue direction. I press control while I'm rotating. I'll make a copy. Oh, I messed up. One more time. You select the item, rotate, you press control first. You click the beginning of the rotation and you drag it towards the end. And then you type 3 times 4 is 12, so 11x. So by doing 12 of these, I made 12 pizza pies. This is rotate copy. We've done rotate copy before, right? You have to press control and rotate.
We have not done it before.
Okay, then we'll do it again. Thank you. I love it when you guys tell me the truth because I forget. I've done it. So you select the item, while it's highlighted, you go to rotate, you press control, you click the beginning of the rotation and you click the end of the rotation. Then you type 11x. which means 11 times. Tell me if it's working. It's a little bit tricky. It's finicky. It's a. Yes. The excitement is killing me, you guys here. I can't contain myself.
Yes.
It's working.
Yes, yes. Okay, because the real work is about to start. I can't show the whole magic. So I made this 12 items that are next to each other. Now watch this. I'm gonna highlight all of them together. Ethan, you did this work for you?
Yeah, it's good so far.
Yeah. Tell me the good news, you guys. Share the good news with me. I'm a poor, lonely teacher in the classroom by myself. I need encouragement as well. So I highlighted all of the 12 of them. And now I'm going to do move copy. I'm going to copy them up and do that also 14x. So I have a tower of pizza pies. And each slice is a component. If it's not a component, honestly, shame on you, because at this point, we've explained it about 1,000 times. And components has been proven to be our best friends. So should I repeat how I copied 12 up? Not 12,
Oh,
14 up, right?
yes.
14 up. Now, you guys see that if you, in your mind's eye, can you imagine this? If you painted some of these steps darker. How come I can paint them? What's that sound? I hear a funny sound. It's coming from me. Like my mic. I'm painting this to demonstrate the point. Okay, they're white now. It's not working. Usually I can paint them.
Is it because it's highlighted?
Usually is I can just, thank you. I'll try that. It's embarrassing me. What story is?
I think they have to be groups in order for you to do that.
I painted components before, because watch this, you can probably paint. No, that I will do it all over again, worst comes to worst. Because if I should not painted it for before. I think I rushed myself. So I'm gonna do this. Oh. Protractor. This gives people some time to catch up. My failure is a good thing. So I will copy this to the side.
That doesn't look like 30 degrees.
It is, it is. Don't scare me like this.
I'm just saying.
Thank you. I need more doubt in my life. No, thank you, Rocco. I appreciate that. I think we'll check. You want me to double check? You're right. How did you figure that out?
It didn't look like.
Sometimes you scare me. Well,
It just
where would I be if you were not here?
looks slightly smaller than the right one.
So this is why it's good to have people who pay attention. So I'm going to take this one. I thought I typed, oh, I lost my magic, you guys. I don't know what happened. Because we have a guest today, I'm showing how lame I could be. Okay, what about this? Now, is this 30? Is this acceptable?
Yes, that looks like 30.
Man, I'm so glad you're not my teacher. I probably would fail the class left. But I thank you, honestly. I really thank you. Because the whole thing would have been 10 times worse if you didn't alert me. Right? They look the same to me, but they look the same. No,
That's pretty good.
your eyes are that accurate.
Yeah, that'll. I want to do
Oh, it just looks slightly smaller. What can I say?
You're an angle genius. I can't make it happen now.
Component.
Yes, 7.5 component. Create. This demo is way harder than I thought it would be. 11x. Now we'll select these slices, right? All 12 of them, and we'll copy them 14 times up, 14x. And now watch the color work. So do you see these black ones? I should use a better material than black. Black is not, black blocks all the details, so I prefer to use like a, let's use. So see what's going on? If I paint all the steps that are descending, because you know they're going to meet at corner. Where am I? What do you think is happening here? Do you guys see what's going on?
Yes.
So if I go to X-ray mode, you remember we have under styles, we have option to go to X-ray, which I don't find here. Okay, here. You see that there is a spiral staircase inside this group, and you see how I see through it?
Yes.
So I'm going to move this whole thing and watch, because the items behind are red, I can't even grab them. So by locking situation, I'm going to put this to the side. This one was wrong. I'm going to erase it. Ethan, that work for you?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. So as you see, there's a spiral staircase inside my spiral staircase, right? I will get X-ray to stop working. It would be nice if I can just pick up only the green ones. If I only highlight by pressing control, I'm picking up only the ones I highlighted. So color coding them was a smart idea, wasn't it? Otherwise, I would have made a mistake. So I'm pressing control and rotating, and I keep grabbing the steps that makes a spiral staircase that I color coded before. Yes? And now if I click control copy and copy this to the outside, I extracted my staircase from inside that formwork I've used and have a spiral staircase. One challenge with spiral staircase is sometimes spiral staircases, tall people can hit their heads. So I'm going to go to components, bring up Sophie, and I'm going to put her on the middle step there. See how she could, her head is clearing. If the staircase was I think lower, if the steps were 4 inches high, her head would bang into this upper step. You see that? So you have clearances to think about. Who do we design for these people this time? We always design for people. We don't design for cartoon characters or mice or giants. We design for average size people between the height of 5 to 6.5 feet. And if you're a giant, sorry. Who's that puppy?
Oh, that's my problem.
Does she have something to say about the spiral staircases?
She says it looks great.
I'm glad. Tell her she's getting an A for class participation too. So for this staircase to work better, we need to have a pipe. So I'm going to draw a pipe at the bottom step. Let's say and make it 4-inch pipe. Oh, my pipe went sideways. And the height, I'm going to make it 20 feet. So this pipe is currently not attached. We're way too high. Maybe I'll bring it down 10 feet or 8 feet. So my spiral staircase is starting to take shape. It has a pipe that's welded. And it has steps. But as you've seen, when I was looking at the spiral staircases on the internet, see these ones, they're really thin. They're just pieces of wood. They don't have solid material. Except for this one, it has like a welded piece of metal underneath. So there's many types, but all of them don't have solid material. You see that? Because I'm working with components, this is really easy to fix, right? I'm going to go.
What do you mean all of them don't have solid material?
Like right now, this is like a big chunk of material. If I open this one component in the top and do it up, let's say 5 inches. See how they look like pieces of wood or metal that are welded to that pipe. Is that making sense?
Okay.
And look, because I'm working with components, they change here as well. We don't care, right? This was a sacrificial one. This was just a study. So now I'm going to make this spiral staircase into a group. You know what? I should make this pipe by itself into a group first. Then make a group of this big group. Now my spiral staircase is an entity. I'm going to take it and land it by the platform. So now this is challenging because if I was a person and I want to climb up, I'm going to land here, right? And that's really not helping me reach the upper platform of this level. So maybe I need to rotate my situation. Let's say we rotate it this way. And maybe if I bring it closer to the landing, the upper landing. See how I have challenges there? Many challenges. First challenge, my staircase is flying. So I want to make sure it's attached to the bottom. Then I have a problem with this silly gap. This is not quality work. People would laugh at me for this work. So it seems that this is not going to work because if I climb up there, my head would bang into this piece of cement. So for the staircase to work, I need to move the staircase away from this platform. and maybe create a landing on the top. Like, what if there was some so I'm drawing directly on the group, trying to align with it. No, it's not aligning, it's in a corner. So it's very important work like this. You have mathematically, you have to
Are you inside the group right now or outside of it?
inside the group, because I don't want to mess with the group. But yeah, I could be inside the group if you want. Yeah, it works either way. So I'm gonna trace this shape. I have a rectangle there. Good question, Ethan. And I pull this rectangle as my landing. And I have it land into this. There's a funny angle that I don't like. I'm gonna make this into a group. And what if I move the staircase and the landing away? And now I can maybe fix that angle. I'm going to move this point on face. See how there's a gap there? I can rotate the entire thing to fill that gap. As you see this assignment, there will be no instructions. What we're practicing today is how you'll at home decide what staircase you'll be building. So far, so good. Except that this staircase is not safe, right? You could not commercially open a staircase like this and people risk their lives going up and down. What do we need to make it safe?
Railings.
Railings. How are we gonna do railings? Let's go see what kind of people, see how they have pipes as railings. Maybe we'll do pipes. Sometimes people have fancier, but let's stick to round sticks. I like these ones, are fancy. They have metal edges on the top and the bottoms here. I like this detail. Will cost $4,000 for this and more. And you guys see this railing handle there, the handrail? That'd be interesting to see how we do that. So how many ones they have per step? See how they have 5 per step. You see that? And each one, and some of them are connecting 2 steps. Maybe they're 3 identical. There are different types of rails. Okay. So let's say I'm going to make pipes. And what size? Let's do 1 inch. 1 inch pipes.
So I do a ½ inch radius.
Yeah. Now we'll do this 38 inches. So far, I'm outside the group, but first I'll make it into a component. So this item lives by itself. If I right click on it, I can make it into a group. No, not group, component, right? 1 inch and 38 inch. Should I put dimensions for you guys? Because 36 plus 2 is 38, right? And it's 1 inch in diameter. Again, what I'm after is you understanding how the system works. Because you don't need to create a copy of this. You need to create your own unusual staircase. In this project, creativity is 25% of the grade. If you do something generic, you won't get the highest points. Okay. So I will make this item. Okay, 38. Oops, I lost it. I changed my diameters, but it doesn't matter. Now I'll make this item into a component. Call it round rail. Now I will erase it because it's already in the library, right? If I open the step, I keep opening till I'm in it. How do I know I'm in it? Because when I click the surface or the line, it's available to me. So I'm inside the component, and in my component box on the side under here, I'll find round rail. I'm going to bring round rail. It already came painted because this is the color of the component. Now I can copy it. I'm just doing it by eye, but I'm doing 5. So look what happened. Each landing has its own. I mean, each step has its own 5 posts. Anybody wants to share where they're at? PJ, are you sharing your screen?
Wait, did you copy it with the rotate command?
No, I didn't. I copied it by eye, actually. If you want to do it right, thank you so much. I don't know, you are really keeping me on my toes today. Better way of copying it, thank you, is to go to edit. To copy, rotate. The professional way is to do it like this. Copy it like that. And do divide by 5, 4. You happy now? They found out all about me now. I feel totally exposed, Rocco. I can't believe you do this to me. What do you guys think? Do we like this interesting process of components living in components?
Yes.
Kind of interesting, right? And look, even the sample we have in the side, each one of them still has it. I usually like this thing more than the staircase itself, even though it's a mistake.
Good afternoon, Professor.
Hey, Hamad, how are you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you for asking. Sorry about that. I was caught up in a little difficulty.
All right, all is good?
Thank God. Yes, sir.
So you lost like an hour of brilliant presentations by me.
No, it's all. I was looking at the screen.
Does this look good? Can we make this at home at some point?
Yes, I can.
I'm impressed with this because I've done it myself for 7 years. I've been repeating the same exercise, so I have it memorized. I hope it's impressive from your end, you guys. PJ, is that working for you?
All good, Professor.
Wayne, are you good? This is a lot of steps. This is a very long tutorial. Rocco, are you good?
Yep.
Nick, we're working. DJ is probably, he's already finished and he's moved to outer space. He's done with this.
No, not yet.
Should I give you guys 10 minutes to catch up, or what do we need?
What's next? What are we gonna do next?
We are thinking of how to do railings. See how they have this railings? So the tops of the steps are not straight. They look like the shape of the DNA. You guys know about the DNA structure. It turned out to be a staircase with a spiral railing, just like this. So we need to do this thing that spins around. See how smooth and cool this is? We're doing it like that in the railing. So I'm trying to find a way to draw this really weird curve. It's a very complex curve, right? It's not straightforward. So let's see how we'll do this. So challenging. First of all, as you see, I'm going to open a group and connect the top of this step to the top of that piece.
You did it by the centers?
Excellent point. Thanks. Yes, centered. You know what? I think the first one didn't do center. You're right. I'm going to be careful with my connections. I'm going to connect this one, the center of the top one.
Right now you're inside the component or no?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
Thank you, Ethan. You really remind me with what needs to be done right.
Sure.
So I'm doing a diagonal line from the first one to second one, but I'm not in a component yet.
Okay.
The second challenge is, so now these items, I'm going to go inside the component. I will hide. You don't hide anything. You, because see, these guys need to reach the diagonal line. The diagonal line is helping me know where this height should end. So I will take the first one. Now I don't want to open the component and change it. I'm going to use scale. That way I will scale each item by stretching it. So I'm using the scale tool, picking up the dot in the middle and dragging it to that line.
Well, you did the scale instead of the push ball?
Yes. The scale would not change the component, it will just stretch it. So it's keeping the original one correct. Each one will be unique. And I'm trying to hit that dot on the line. I think this should make a difference. Rocco, is that working for you?
Yes. I think.
Am I doing it right? Son, you look good, right? So now we're ready to make a railing because the steps, the railings receive the dowels, except the railing that look like a spiral DNA structure shape. I love hearing these clicks from across the. Are you planning to stay here until 2 o'clock? I'll just stay here.
Yeah, whatever's
Because
easier.
a student is coming.
tell me.
No, a student is coming.
I'm open.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I took the dad.
Excellent.
But like, if you want.
No,
I'm
no.
not trying to be a burden on you.
No, I'm happy to have you because I'm here doing things. I'm good to have you as a witness.
Yeah, good, good.
Should we go to the next step, you guys? Is the stretching working for you, Ethan?
Yeah. I don't know if I got everyone exact, but it seems like pretty good.
But I'm not getting exact myself. I am checking my work and I'm realizing, yeah, it's okay. I bet if we're brilliant at math, there's a formula for this. It's good enough.
You scale when you scaled by the middle one.
The middle one, the dot, send the little red dot in the middle. Yes.
Okay.
Does that work for you? Because
Yeah.
you scale from the corner, it stretches the proportions of the pipe. It becomes thinner as well.
This. If you go to the Google waffle, it's down there, right?
Yes.
We
It's,
need to. Download
you
it.
can work on their browser. Okay. Now we are going to do something even more challenging. Rocco, are we ready for the next step?
Yes.
Thank you. So see if my straight line was not capturing the curve. So what I need to do is to draw a line, to draw a curve from there to there and try to capture the center line like that of the middle one. Where am I? So I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to capture. I got lost here. Because in reality, this straight line does not capture that curve, but this curve I added is a little bit better as a path. I feel like I've lost it.
What if you just go into the like the circular thing component, make like a triangle and then connect the four and then just move it to the middle?
Oh, that'll be better. I agree with you. Thank you. But the problem with them there, the number is funny. It's 3 and 3, I guess. See, I can't capture. I will try. Something like this, right? Can you live with this, boss? How bad am I doing? Then do an arc from there to there. Yes? Better?
Yes.
Thank you. So this curve is going to be my path for doing the railing. I can't do a railing till I have a path to follow. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to highlight. Just watch this. If I draw a rectangle like this, I only have the curve because I didn't touch anything else but what's inside the box. I'll make this into a group. So I have a group of this little piece, right?
Curve is a group now.
Yeah, just a line. Yeah, thank you.
Wait, how did you make it into a group when I right click it on the line?
No, I selected the line by drawing a rectangle like this.
Oh, okay.
By the way, I noticed there's a broken thing here, which we have to delete.
Can you make this line outside of everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it into a group, but it's not going. It just says entity info or hide.
We don't have to make it a group. You can work with that without being a group. In my case, it worked, but it doesn't have to be.
Okay.
So now the other challenge is to try to draw a pipe. We're going to draw at the bottom of the stair circle where the line ends. I'm going to draw a line in this direction. And I'm going to go up. How high is it? I need to draw a circle at the end of the pipe, because this circle is the profile of my path. We will using follow me later on. So I did a 3/4 inch pipe. So watch this. See this triangle? And I will draw right in a minute. That's the surface. This surface is the end of that curve.
We should make a triangle. A
Oh,
triangle.
yeah. Actually, I'm going to make it and then erase it. Yeah, make a triangle.
Like that.
Yeah. Thanks, Ethan. It's very challenging. This is a very tough assignment.
How tall should it be? Should we just?
I made it.
Okay.
I made it. I think an inch. I think
An inch? Okay.
inch and a half. So the whole reason I did this is because I want to draw this piece of paper. I want to draw a circle on it. See how I drew a circle at the edge of that touches that path, and the triangle helped me have a surface to draw the circle on. It was just an assist. Do you know where we're heading next, you guys? All right, we're going to pick up the lines and do follow me. So this is my line. And I made myself a segment of a pipe. But it didn't repeat. So I need to copy this segment. So this is, I'm going to copy it, edit, cut, or okay, I have selected, edit, cut. Now I'll open this component and do edit. See, I know it's open because I can select the surface. Edit, paste in place. Whoa. What do we think of that pipe? If you tell me a month ago we all be able to do such a thing, I would not even believe it. I hate the color, by the way. Hate is a strong word. Not too bad, right? Is something happening at your end, you guys?
Yeah, we're.
Even the spiral, because the spiral is really hard. I mean, if you look carefully, it does not seem 100% exactly right, but for our purposes, this is pretty good. So something looks like this, which looks extremely I mean, when I saw this for the first time, I was so intimidated. How could I draw such a thing? And when you break it, it's into its pieces and do some research, you realize it's not impossible. Okay, now someone has to share their screen. Rocco, go for it.
Okay.
No, we can help you. We're not here to judge you. We just want to see how far you've been.
No, you don't.
I'm always impressed with your work.
I think that's gonna change today.
Can't go wrong. You're just experimenting. How bad could it be?
It could be very bad.
I think it's not bad at all. I think it's really nice. Really cool. And maybe the pipes will be a little bit thinner if you want.
Yeah.
That's a very tricky one. I had a student last year who figured the mathematical genius equation for doing it and did 100% right. But at least you know how to get there, right?
Yeah.
I like it. You like what you did. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm impressed. See, I didn't change my mind. Dominic, are you there?
Yes, I'm still with you.
Are you going to share with us your screen? It doesn't
I'm-
have- yeah,
I'm kind of in the middle of a test also while listening to this class. So
no, that does not help. Now you're going to fail 2 classes at the same time. It's just we really have to prioritize our class time. I mean,
yeah,
there's a video of this. There's a video of this you can watch later. But when the video is playing, you cannot pause it and ask me a question. I can help much more if we're live.
I
Do
know.
what you can.
I understand.
Thank you for your honesty. I want you to do well in all your classes. Thank you. Aditya, are you there? You're very quiet today.
Yeah, I'm here.
Where are you at with the staircase project?
Sure.
Do you want to share? Go for it if you can. Nice. We just have to make this last piece work. Cool work. Thank you. So you're following along. It's making sense.
Yeah, I'm just a little slow.
You're not all. It's complicated. It's very tough. Okay, take your time, whatever it takes, but at least you seem to understand it, right?
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
Thank you. I like that you do two segments. I wonder if we make both of these into a component and paste it in the step. Would that work, you think?
I don't know why it keeps doing this.
That would work.
I'll tell you why. When you start with one path, can you undo 2 steps? Okay. If you select the lines first, the 2 lines, the black line, this one, yeah, exactly, and the one above it, and then see, I'm not totally useless. Sometimes I can help, right? Then make this into a component, select it, and make it to this whole, the whole. No, select the edges as well. Yes, thank you. Great. Right click on it, make component, call it spiral rail or something. Thank you. Now edit cut. And open the first step, right? And paste it in place. Let's see what happens. Paste in place, let's see. And it's happening everywhere. It's kind of interesting. It looks like a snake or a spine of a dinosaur or something, right?
I made it too thick.
You can make it smaller. You can go undo 2 steps and draw the pipe half the size. It won't take much time. It takes a minute to do it. Undo 2 steps and draw a new circle, but smaller. Oh, we lost that shape, right? Good. I'm impressed by how much of an expert you are. Victor, are you with us? Victor. Good. Thank you. We're gonna let you go. Ethan, you're okay?
Yeah.
What about Lewis? How's Lewis doing?
Just still catching up.
It's okay. I'll give you a minute or two. Yeah, I'm a foreigner in this room.
Yeah,
This was my desk for all this time.
yeah, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that you haven't been here. Yeah.
What am I doing there? The screen is so dirty. I'm looking at the screen as if it's a person now.
Right.
So for the platform, will we just make a separate railing? Because there's no railing there.
Good point. Do your own, solve your own problem. Think if you're an engineer or construction worker in a job site, what would you do? Right? Anyone's having a challenge or a place where I can help with?
So what do we have to do for next class?
For next class, you're going to bring your own take on this staircase that you will design. But you remember the picture you showed me?
Yes.
You need to find a way to sketch them. So can you, okay, let's see. I want to do the staircase you had in mind.
Which one?
The one you had in mind. You only showed me a bunch of the cool ones you were thinking about.
Yes.
So I need to invent a new type of stair. So I'm gonna take this one out of the way. This was just tests, right? This was just experimentation. So what if we take one of these steps? I'm inventing something never been done before. Control X. But we need to have a sketch. I cannot work without a sketch. This is why I have someone has to share this. Say, let's say this stair I'm looking at right now. We know it. It's wood and it has gaps like this and lights. So Control V. Did I copy it and paste it? Component. Do we have it as a stair? So I will take this step. But you said something about curves, right? So I may have to invent I don't know how to do this. Was the idea to let's say I'm inventing a new type of steps where this edge.
It was hooked on the wall and the ceiling.
Yeah, hooked on the wall of the ceiling. So I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to.
Well,
What if we lift it up in the blue direction? Do we like this?
yeah, yes.
Maybe. I mean, something like this. Maybe if I flip it and mirror it, maybe. What if we mirror it? And then stretch each one, then I have to make each one unique if I want to follow your system, right? But it's just an experiment, right? We're still testing it for, see if it works. So I use the auto fold. Oops. It would work if it was not that close. So now we're going to be using more advanced modeling techniques. You can do fancier things because you have more tricks, right? So this is my first step. Assuming this is the kind of staircase I want to make. Because this is a spaceship and I want to make it really unusual. This is some kind of store that sells like futuristic items. How many steps we said? 15?
Yeah.
So if I try some of this, maybe this will work. We do 8x. Wow, this is very welcoming, right? And then we can maybe make a special, see this one? I'm gonna copy the last step. You remember stretch? We used stretch before.
Yes.
I can maybe either use a stretch tool with a scale and make this one into a wider step. And then maybe we'll invent something for whatever. But what about the railing? How is the railing going to work on this, right?
I think that's an actual railing.
But then you can't reach it. And also I might have to do something like this. I might have to pull this in this direction. Look at that. I just came up with, don't tell anybody. I know.
What if someone walks down that staircase and falls?
That's maybe the joke. What if we create something between this system and that system? I don't know. I think this holds an idea or potential for something, right?
Yeah.
So this is one thing. I still have to solve the problems. I still have to provide railings. I might have to do like railings like that. I still have to check this out. I'm gonna take all of these that you just came up with. I'm gonna do something radical. I'm gonna destroy the components for this project because we're doing something that's never been done before, at least for the project. I'm doing see what I'm doing? I copy everything to the side. So I'll have a place to make an experiment because if it fails, we have nothing to lose, right? So I'm protecting my work by making copies and eventually I'll delete all the bad ones and keep the good ones. What if we exploded all of these? And that will allow me to take, see this portion here to the left?
Yes.
I'm gonna control copy and do control V. And maybe we delete this side. I don't know, maybe this side. And So we need to make a connector that will take this side here that we left. Because I'm attached, I'm going to group this into a group. Who knows? We might be inventing something never done. I think we're already inventing something never been done before. I've never seen like this in my life. So, Rocco, power to you.
I mean,
We and I are going to get rich together
yeah, I guess.
because the world needs more staircases. There's a shortage.
This looks like one of those impossible staircases.
Exactly. We're doing an impossible staircase for real. Okay, watch this. If we can copy the last. Okay, I'm gonna delete, maybe I will delete these two because they're fighting with each other, right? If I delete this one and bring this one towards, oh, there's a problem with height. Obviously, my math was not 100%. You see that? Sorry, Rocco, but you just failed the class. This has potential, right?
I mean, yeah, it's very confusing, but it has potential.
It has a sculptural quality. It looks like it's a mountain to climb. It's three-dimensional. I think we could crop these pieces in the bottom. Did I show you? Did I ever show you intersect command?
Nope.
Okay, watch this. How do I crop? If this was the ground level, and I make this into a group first. I make a piece of paper into a group, and I will park it where the landing is. See that surface? Because I need the stuff underground I have to get rid of. So first of all, I will open this and stretch it to make it as big.
Professor, I have to go, but what is due by next class?
Bring most of you the new staircase that you're designing, that may be a combination of this system, that system, this system, the one that you were inspired by. Start applying it and see what kind of challenges you have. See if it works. So it doesn't have to be finished next week, but at least bring something where you're halfway done.
We have class Wednesday.
So we have class Wednesday. Why? What's Wednesday?
Is this class not Monday, Wednesdays?
Yeah, this week. I'm sorry, this week.
So we should start it up by Wednesday.
No, you should have half of it done by Wednesday. So we come to class with questions. So start building your own staircase.
Okay.
And bring it to class and we can make it work. Yeah, you're ready. It's almost class time to end class, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy. But Rocco, stick with me for a minute. I'll show you this little trick.
Okay.
Take care. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys. See you later.
Take care, Professor.
Appreciate this. I'll send you a video. Okay. Rocco, show you with it. I'm going to explode this.
Okay, sure.
Yes, ma'am.
So now, see this system and that. Oh, I need to explode this as well. When you have two universes like this one and that one that intersect each other, but they are not really addressing each other. If I erase the bottom part, it will erase the top part. You see that?
Yes.
So if I highlight all the items that mathematically intersect, like this, and right click and do intersect faces with selection. See how it drew lines around this edge?
Yes.
Because it drew lines, now if I highlight the bottom parts and click delete, they're gone. I really like this thing we're trying to do, by the way. It has a lot of potential. I think this is something we need to mess with and try it harder.
Looks like 4 different staircases.
I love it. I think something good could come out of this. You go mess with it for several hours. Tell me what happens. That's your challenge. See you Wednesday.
All right. Bye, Professor.
Thank you for your invention. I like it. Have fun. Bye.
Bye.